Good morning, everyone. Thank you. We'll continue our book reading this morning, The Toyota Way to Service Excellence by Jeffrey K. Liker and Karen Ross. Okay, we're in chapter 6, which says micro principles. And we'll be looking at principle 6, which says stabilize and continually adopt work pattern. Last week, we looked at the relationship and purpose of standards. Today, we'll be looking at NL services, coercive bureaucracy, standards as something to be adhered to, standard as something to be adhered to. So unfortunately, for NL services, Sam McQueen, the VP who championed the Lean pilot project, decided to leave to take a job as a senior executive at the company where his former colleague Sarah Stevens worked. It was a smaller company, but he felt alive then. At NL Services, responsibilities for company-wide lean deployment was passed on to Mike Gallagher, who had taken on the role of Executive Vice President of Corporate Lean Strategy. Mike was brilliant and felt passionate about NL Services, but he knew nothing about Lean beyond a few books he had perused. He had visited some of the people Sam worked with in the pilot and was impressed by their enthusiasm and accomplishment. But if he continued to spread Lean using the deep pilot approach, he would retire before Lean got serious traction across the company. He needed help from real experts after a competitive bidding process. NL Services decided to go with Lean Mechanics Incorporation, a big box consultancy specializing in implementing lean management system for service organizations. Lean Mechanics seemed to have an impressive track record of quick, cost-effective deployment and promised that it would have its lean management system up and running across NL service within 6 months. After an initial investigative period in which a huge contingent of Lean Mechanics certified Lean experts swarmed the NL service office with stopwatches, the diagnosis was made that, like many other service organizations, NL Services' biggest problem was that it didn't have functioning standard work. Every credit transaction process did the work differently, which, according to Ray Kingston, the Lean Mechanics certified master, Lean expert assigned to lead the work with NL Services, resulted in huge productivity losses. Ray promised Mike that implementing standard work for all the credit transaction processes would deliver at least a 20% productivity gain across the organization. When all the credit processors were doing the work the same, efficient way, it would be easy to share work across different parts of the organization, and the need for specialized regional training would drop dramatically. With the added efficiency, Lean Mechanics promised to deliver savings by eliminating jobs, creating the standard work would be a simple and painless process. Ray Kingston and his team of Lean experts would time the credit transaction processors in an office to estimate the amount of wasted time that could be eliminated using the standard work. They would then determine what the most efficient process would be. Once the steps were compiled and timing complete, the actual standard work will be created by the junior consultants, and credit processors will be trained across the entire country and audited to comply with the new method. Ray explained to Mike that there was no need to worry that credit transaction processors would resist following rigid procedure, that would reduce their creativity, as the standard work was really just a high level view of steps and handoffs between roles, nothing too detailed or specific. Okay, this is where I'll stop for reading this morning. Still talking about standard. Remember, we looked at NL services in chapter 5, where they were looking for a way, to work, most especially when it comes to answering customers during credit and credit processing unit. Uh, Sam was invited as a consultant to help them, know where and where they are having problems, to identify where they are having problems. So today, under standards, that is coercive bureaucracy, we are still using NL services as how do I put it now? We're still using our case study for standards. So what we've read today is just giving us a process of how their work has been going on since the last time that Sam visited, and last time they invited a consultant. So today, they're still having issues in their company where they need to, have standards of operation of how they, do their credit transaction process across the company, and that will also be productive. So as we continue to read on, we'll see, and the book will help us identify where they needed to apply standard work in their company. So this is it for our reading today. Thank you.